Previously on Bleach. Ichigo got his powers back. Manga reader has a typo. The Shinigami return. Ginjo's mind fucked. There's an earthquake that hits the East Coast. I felt it. Yeah. Oh, and also Ginjo's about to die. And now, chapter 461. Everybody, Tekking101 here to do Bleach chapter 461, titled Come Around Our Turn. Yeah, back to the old-fashioned, no-sensical titles. Anyway, before I get into the actual chapter, let me ask you guys one thing. Do you like the previously on segments? Because, you know, I'm okay doing them. I mean, they're really easy to do. I mean, I'm not, like, labored or anything. I'm just saying, because, you know, I did it the first time because I wanted something unique, and then I did it again, and I thought, you know, maybe I should stop after that because it might get kind of repetitive. But if you guys want to keep me, like, me to keep doing that, yes, I would be very happy to do that. I might stop doing the whole, and now chapter so-and-so, because, you know, it's so obvious we know what chapter it is. I just, you know, the previously on segment's just like, you know, just to poke fun and stuff. And it's the only one I can really do, because Bleach is just, it's so easy to poke fun at. But anyway, leave a comment below about that. So anyway, the chapter opens with a hell of a lot of white. I hate it when Kubo does that. I really do. He did that a lot during the fake Karakura Town arc, you know, because like 90% of those fights took place in the air. And, you know, he didn't feel compelled to draw clouds in the background or anything like, you know, shade of anything. He just drew the characters in a white background. That's pretty much all it was. And, I mean, I understand he probably drew clouds in, like, some shots, but in just, like, panels with them just, like, standing there, it was, like, almost always white in the background. You know, I always thought the excuse for that was just, oh, well, you know, he's a mangaka. He has to get these out every week, you know? He doesn't have time to draw in backgrounds. One Piece is epic at drawing backgrounds. I don't understand how, you know, half that stuff gets done in like a week. I understand it's not just Oda doing it. I mean, there's other people, but still, just the fact that you could draw these entirely like elaborated sceneries in just 1 week, that's amazing. And that's one thing that One Piece is better at Bleach about. You know, that's a lot of stuff, you know, people would rant about. But this isn't a rant show, it's a review show. But yeah, I just don't like it when he does that. And he does it a lot in this chapter, sadly. You know, that's the reason that this takes me 15 minutes to read. This takes me half an hour. Because it's, you know, more words in this one, more logic. You know, in Bleach, it's basically like, Ichigo, kill that bad guy. Okay. You know, that's pretty much it. But, yeah. And, anyway, so, continuing on the next page, Ichigo's Tensuga Tensho cut the entire mansion in half, but he missed Ginjo. He missed him. How could you miss him? He's 3 feet in front of you! And yes, I did steal that quote directly from Disney's Mulan, but I couldn't find a clip of that on YouTube, so there you go. But seriously, I mean, he had a Getsuga Tensho the size of a skyscraper, and he was not that far from Ginjo. How do you miss that? I think maybe Kubo just got, you know, caught up in his own little thing where he's just like, oh, I'm going to give Ichigo back his powers, he's going to be so freaking epic, Getsuga Tensho right at Ginjo, and oh, wait a minute, I can't have Ginjo die yet. How am I going to get out of this one? Oh, I know, hey, it missed. Yeah, whatever. Ichigo just like, I missed. Next time I won't. Oh, and one more thing, was Ichigo aware that that's the building where all his friends and family were at? And he just cut it in half? So, yeah, I understand, you know, they're all dead. I mean, that'd be stupid if they were all dead. They obviously got out. But last time Ichigo checked, all of his friends and family were in that building, and he just cut it in half, and it's probably ready to collapse over them. So, you know, that's whatever. But Ginjo decides he should probably get the fuck out of Dodge. Jumps away. Ichigo grabs him by his collar. I won't let you get away. And Ginjo guesses that because he gave him the power of Fullbring, that must have made him physically stronger too. And we finally get an explanation for that, why it looks like Ichigo's Fullbring and Shinigami powers have melded, because he has a Shihakusho, but he also has his Fullbring armor underneath, it looks like. So we get an explanation for that. I guess he has both now. So, with one sword, obviously, but still, just, that's pretty cool. So Ichigo summons another Getsuga Tensho, looks freaking beast while he's doing it too, shoots it at Ginjo, and oh my god, that's a lot of white. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about it again, but yeah, not a big fan of the white thing, Kubo. This time Ginjo actually gets hit. Though, and while he is being blasted away by it, he's just like, don't think, this is enough to kill me. So, we all know what happened at the end of the chapter. We all know why you're watching this right now, but I'll get to that later, guys. Don't worry, I'm getting there. But anyway, Ichigo thinks he's dead, you know, because apparently, from Ichigo's perspective, he's just a normal human with full bring. So I guess he thinks he's defeated or dead or whatever. So he's examining his new powers, and he doesn't just sense Rukia, Kenpachi, Renji, Akaku, Toshiro, and Byaku as Ryatsu. He also senses pretty much everybody. Hiriko's, Rangiku's, Unohana's, Hanataro, who I don't think we've seen Hanataro in the manga since, like, freaking chapter, like, well, way back in the Soul Society arc, so if he shows up again, that'd be pretty cool. Ishin, Urahara, Yoroichi, and the Yamamoto. So that's pretty cool. All of them put their Ryatsu into Ichigo, so that's maybe explains why he's so uber badass. Hiriko, by the way, yes, Hiriko is a member of the, well, at least patch things up with Soul Society if he's, like, willingly able to do that. So, yeah, I really want to see the Vizards again, because there's a lot of stuff about the Vizards we never got to see. We never got to see half of their Bankais. We never got to see them, you know, all in a drawn-out fight. I'm still pissed about the whole Kensei versus Wanderweiss thing. They just kind of ignored that. I'm still really pissed about that. But everyone lands next to Ichigo, and he's just like, wasn't it a grave crime to transfer Shinigami powers? And Renji's just like, it couldn't be helped. Captain Commander's orders. So we have a cut back to the Soul Society. And Yamamoto, yeah, he just pretty much said, he saved us. He saved the Soul Society from Aizen twice already. So, yeah, I think we kind of, you know, owe him just a little bit of our Ryatsu each. So everyone poured into this sword. And that's how Ichigo got his powers back. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And it's really nice to see them finally repaying their debt to Ichigo. 17 months later. Really? He defeated Aizen over a year ago. You're just getting around to repairing his powers. Now, the only excuse I can think for this is that it took a long time for Kisuke to create the sword, but really, I mean, what we have seen Kisuke invent things much more complicated than this sword. I mean, it's a sword that absorbs Ryatsu and channels it into a single being. I don't think it would be that complicated to create something like that, especially for him, and he's a genius. Now, it makes you think, like, Aizen was the Soul Society's only major enemy, and he was gone. So, it's just like they were preoccupied with, like, what, paperwork the past year and a half? It's just like, oh, okay, Squad 6 wants a swimming pool, Squad 11 wants a tennis court, and 17 months later, oh, Ichigo, yeah, that guy, I remember that guy, saved us complete destruction, you know, killed the guy that we never could kill, yeah, nice guy, next guy, let's give that guy his powers back. I'm just saying. Toshiro basically goes on a long spiel about how he should be very proud to hold all these different powers and Ryatsus in them. And he also goes on to explain that the reason that they gave him his powers back was, one, because they were in debt to him, and number two, because there was a case a very long time ago where there was a previous substitute Shinigami that went missing. And it's finally revealed that Ginjo was the original substitute Shinigami, and he appears from the blast looking freaking metal. And that's the chapter. I kind of expected this, to be honest, because, you know, Ginjo, from the very start, he appeared like he knew more about Ichigo than he should, even though he's a member of Execution. He knows more about Shinigami and stuff than he should, so, you know, I always expected something like this would come about. And not to mention the fact that after he after he got Ichigo's full bring powers, his sword changes, like the skull changed, and he even said that full bring powers do not evolve after you get them. You get them, and that's what you have. That you can't get them any different models or anything. So when he did that with his sword, I pretty much assumed that something like that would happen. And you know what? Actually, this makes perfect sense to me, because let's think about this. Way back at the beginning of the time skip, Ginjo told Ichigo the whole purpose of Execution is to bring your Shinigami powers back. Once you have full bring, you'll be able to reawaken your Shinigami powers, you'll be able to get them back, you'll be able to blend them together and make them twice as strong. So, that's the reason he needed to learn full bring. And then, after he was cut again by Tsukishima, and by the way, where is he at? Did he just, like, vanish all of a sudden? Like, after Ichigo got his new powers, like, ditched him. He's like, oh, crap, Ginjo, did he just, like, bail on Ginjo? Like, okay, you can deal with this, buddy, I'm out. Did he just, like, was he just, like, did he just, like, you know, like, after Ichigo got his new powers, he just, like, oh, screw this, you're on your own, buddy, I'm out. Because, yeah, we haven't seen him in, like, the last 2 chapters. But, yeah, because after Tsukishima cut him again, he got his memory back, and he did the exact flip. Instead of Ichigo getting his full brain to reawaken his Shinigami powers, Ginjo stole his full brain to reawaken his Shinigami powers. And from the way Ginjo looks, he looks like a combination of full brain and Shinigami, because, you know, Shinigami just have the Shihakusho, so that would make sense to me. Why Ginjo looks like that. He's a combination of his full brain and his Shinigami powers. It's a little weird because he doesn't have the Shihakusho. It's a little weird because, you know, there's just a lot of stuff he has to explain still, but I think I get the basic understanding of this. So it was a pretty cool chapter. I enjoyed it. Wish they would have not, Kubo wouldn't have done like all the massive like whiteouts. Like there were like 3 pages with like nothing but pretty much like 90% white. But aside from that, good chapter. Really looking forward to it because, yeah, and that's the one thing that bugged me though was, why did he wait till now to do this? I mean, he stole Ichigo's full brain powers like 4 chapters ago, and his sword already started to change. So what? It just took him longer to reawaken his powers? Because in some panels last chapter, he looked pretty freaking scared. He looked like he was about to die, and he was afraid of this. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I should probably, you know, stop, you know, playing around and just get my powers back. So I don't know if there was like a time delay or something, but whatever. We'll find out next chapter, hopefully. Tekking101 signing out.